Be friendly to everybody. Security, the doorman, security especially. He is going to be the guy that can decide, yes, you can park there for 20 minutes while you unload. Likewise, waiters, the people doing the coffee. We always set up earlier. Grab the waiter. Can I just borrow you to do some test pictures? Flash, flash. Oh, that's good. Oh, is that your friend? Yeah, get your manager in. Yeah, I'll do some. Another print? Yeah, that's all right. I'm just testing it and setting it up. They've remembered you.
Hey guys, welcome back.
Thanks for joining us. My name is Christian.
And my name is Sarah.
And we are the Boothers.
Photo Boothers to be exact. We have been photo boothing since 2019 here in the US.
And if you're just joining us for the first time, this is a podcast about photo boothing by photo boothers. So if you have a photo booth business or you're just thinking of starting one, you'll want to join us for today's episode.
Welcome back to the Boothers podcast. Today we have a super special guest and we're really excited to welcome Steve Burton to the show. But before we do that, I just wanted to, give the idea behind Boothers, because photo boothing can be quite isolating. You're working all these wonderful events with other wedding and event vendors, but it's so rare that you get to sit down and talk to another photo boother unless you are going to Photo Booth Expo or specific meetups. This podcast is designed to share the really amazing conversations that we have with other photo boothers. Seriously, in just such a short amount of time, we've been able to implement processes and improvements just with one or two simple conversations. It is so much fun, and we just learn a ton. So today we actually have an extra special guest. We have Steve Burton, who is the owner of Smartpicsuk UK, based in the London, UK area. And he is actually our photo booth vendor from our wedding, which was just about 2 months ago. So welcome, Steve. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you.
Hi, Steve.
I'm honored.
Tell us a little bit about you and about Smartpics and how long you've been photo boothing.
I've been photo boothing since 2017, which probably isn't that long, but it's what, 8 or 9 years. Give 2 years off for COVID, and I'm loving it. I got into photo boothing almost as an accident. I've been a photographer all my life, mostly editorial for big publications, and it started dying, and I started doing event photography, and everywhere I went, I could see photo booths. This was 10, 12 years ago, and I thought I can do that better. And I bought my first photo booth from Peter and Susie of Every Booth. It was the Every Booth original. I think I was one of the first people to get it.
Wow.
And it just took off from there. Pete and Susie helped me. Other people in the industry helped me. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I just didn't know. I've been a professional photographer. I understand taking photographs, but running a photo booth business, I just didn't have a clue. I soon learned. And I'm still learning now to this day, as we all do. We all do, especially with new technology coming on and AI especially.
Yeah. So Steve, you said you use Every Booth. So have you always used Every Booth? And how many photo booths do you have?
I have 3. I've got the Every Booth original. I've got the Every Booth Studio Light, which was their second model, and we had it adapted to make it the lighting a bit better. And I've got the Icon, which we love. We absolutely love. It's so versatile, and it's easy to load in and out. We love it.
Do you only offer digital, or do you offer the full spectrum, digital and printed photos?
Oh no, we offer prints. That prints come as standard. Unless somebody said no, we don't want prints, then we can do it. But no prints. We think it's still very important. Although people are sharing everything to their phones these days, and that's where the new iPad apps are just so good at doing it. But they like to have a physical print in their hand. That's what we feel,
It's so
and
true.
it seems to be working. I can't remember the last job we did where someone said, "No, we don't want prints, just
Of course.
do
Yeah.
digital." We'd still charge the same amount of money and anyway for turning up and setting it up.
Yeah. Tell us about the kind of the area that you cover for those that aren't familiar with the UK and in London, and just give us an idea.
We cover London, the capital, which is a very big city. It is it is massive, and we do the surrounding counties, Essex, Hertfordshire, Kent, Surrey, and we go quite a bit further if it's for a corporate and people are prepared to pay our travel and accommodation costs. We do long distance jobs, but generally only for big corporates who've got the budget.
Sarah, do you want to tell the listeners how we found Steve? Because this was for our wedding, which was last year in 2025. But we were looking for a photo booth, and Sarah, I kind of put her in charge of looking. So maybe you can kind of tell how that went and how we found Steve.
Yeah, that's such a fun story. So as a photo boother, you might know exactly what you want for your wedding and for the photo booth experience. And then what it really comes down to is the person running it, the company, and wanting to find somebody who felt like for us would be friends. Like we want to continue to be friends and like get to know you way past the wedding. So I started with the Every Booth owners group actually on Facebook because we bought an icon booth last year at Photo Booth Expo. We bought our first icon booth, and having used it all year, I realized this is totally what I want at our wedding. So I went into the icon owners group. This was probably like September, and our wedding's December. Yeah. So Steve's laughing because yeah. So I put it out there. I said, we're Americans. We're getting married in London 4 days before Christmas in Mayfair. And we really want an icon booth. Who here has availability and would be interested in chatting with us? And I got, I think, 8 or 9 different companies responded. And at that point, I froze. I was like, oh my gosh, this is overwhelming. And I didn't engage anybody really. But I came back to that group eventually and I started looking through the comments and I narrowed it down to 2 photo booth companies. And I said, I'll reach out to both and I'll get a vibe on how I like the interactions. And I actually reached out blind. I don't think, right, Steve, when I reached out again, probably in like November, I didn't say, we're those photo booth people from that Facebook group. I just said, we're Christian and Sarah, we're getting married in Mayfair. And Steve's response was so fast. I loved his, phrasing in his email. I could tell right off the bat that I really enjoyed him and he was going to be a good fit. And so after a couple back and forth, I told him, hey, we're actually the photo booth people. And he was just so excited for us and said, I personally want to be there to work with you guys. I wouldn't miss it. And at that moment, I knew like this was so the right choice to hire Steve. And just connecting with you and like chatting you on WhatsApp made it super easy. And it was kind of a last minute booking, which I, of course, felt really terrible about. But it's a lot to plan your own wedding
I
overseas.
mean, that's how real brides book people. They'll book, they'll inquire, then you get ghosted, and then they will come back and say, "Oh, are you still free?" Yes, we are. Have a chat. What
Yeah.
questions have you got? And that is how real brides often work. So, yeah.
Where did the conversation start with the like AI water filter, which ended up being just stealing the show? That AI water filter, we hadn't even seen that before, and it's one of the topics that we wanted to talk to you about today. That it seems to be really maybe a trend for 2026. But tell us about where that came from, and was that something you had offered before? Was it something new?
It was something totally new, and I've been trying it at home, and just getting into the AI stuff. 'Cause it's getting so much easier now, but you've really got to put some effort into it. And I was trying out lots of combinations, And my wife and the neighbours were getting sick of it. Every time someone came out, I said, "Oh, just stand there. No, it doesn't matter what you're wearing, just stand there," etc. And I tried it out, and I'd loaded it onto the booth for your wedding, and I hadn't told you, and you might say, "Well, we don't want this," and I'd just switch it off. It takes 2 seconds to switch it off and hide it. But I thought, well, let's just try it, especially as you only had about 21 guests there. So people in a 3 hour session are going to get bored. 20 people, there's only so many photos you can do with a photo booth. There wouldn't be any lines. So it was in the cocktail hour after you'd had the ceremony, and I just tried it with a couple of your guests. And I said, "Oh, let's just try this and see if it works." And if it hadn't worked, AI can be a bit flaky sometimes unless you've thoroughly tested it. And of course, I hadn't tested it on the day. I tested it at home, and they just absolutely loved it. And we're showing it to other people. They were coming back. "Oh, well, we want the watercolor. We want the color. No, we don't want the regular. We want yours." You hadn't even come into the room yet. I think you were having photos done outside. And then when you came in, and it was just like, oh, we love it, we love it, we love it. And it was so easy because if you remember, we had a split location. We did the cocktail hour, you had your dinner, and then I took everything upstairs to the rooftop bar, and there was just no room really for the backdrop. As you know, it's just a regular PB back 7'6" backdrops, and they are cumbersome sometimes to set up in a restricted space. So I just set that up, no backdrop in the upstairs bar, and it just worked better with no
It
backdrop.
really did. It was
And,
mind blowing at that point
and it
that
was just work,
yeah,
and it was just working, and nobody wanted the regular photos
right.
after that. And
Yeah.
I was just stunned, and the look on your face said it all. So
Yeah.
it it's
W-
now going to be a regular with us, and we're just looking at all the AI stuff all the
Hmm.
time and practicing and practicing. You can't just copy and paste it. You've got to sit there, and if you've got professional photography background and you understand lighting ratios, depth of
Hmm.
field, lens angle, etc., etc.,
mhm.
focal length. If you can put that into words and put it into your prompts, you become a director of photography, not just a photo booth attendant. You are engineering it. It, it's like learning photography again, and
Yeah.
you
So
can
for those that
control.
may not know exactly what Steve is talking about, so
Sorry.
did you purchase a custom AI filter? And before you answer, when you're going to add an AI filter, you kind of have to prompt it, is what Steve is saying. So did you create your own prompt, and also where did you get your AI filter?
I think that one started off as from Ryan Salinas, which I bought, and then adapted it myself. Put a few changes in, and learned from it, basically. But I'm doing stuff now straight from scratch, and I'm trying it out at home, and then looking at it. Sometimes it
Mhm.
doesn't work, but the very first job I did on AI, other than the watercolor for a wedding, was a corporate,
Hmm.
and I did that totally from scratch.
Hmm.
But first AI prompt I'd ever written, and it was just perfect. And again, the client had booked just a regular booth, etc. And I added this prompt, and it was themed for them
Hmm.
and had all their branding on it. And I said, "Would you just like to have a look at this?" And again, they were just, weren't expecting it. Absolutely loved it.
Hmm.
Hadn't upsold it to them. It was the first time I'd done anything at all with AI. And I thought, well, I'm not going to upsell it in case it goes wrong.
Yeah. Sarah,
Um,
can we pull up an example and share that? Because I would love we'll share it with our audience so they can see it as well.
Yeah.
But I'll just kind of describe it for people that might be listening. So
Right
when we
now?
Send some over as well.
yeah.
Sure, right now.
So what we selected was, or this was actually a surprise to us. We didn't even know that this was going to be there. But this is a normal photo. We had a backdrop behind us, and again, I'm trying to describe this for people that can't see. But your filter removed the background and then created this beautiful watercolor. We have it up now. So it's very neat to see that, all within a few seconds, it was able to remove our background and in some cases create one. This was when
Even
we
here,
were,
you could see this is when Steve was shooting with no backdrop, and it still looks really cool. You wouldn't even notice really. And one of my favorite things about the watercolor is you still look like you. I think sometimes with AI, you can get, your face gets weird. But these photos, I mean, I see everybody in these photos. I see our guests looking just like themselves. And I think, yeah, this was the highlight for our guests at our wedding, which had 18 people.
yeah, yeah, we had a really small wedding and everyone was at the photo booth having a
We were
great
busy.
time.
We were busy all day,
Oh my
which
gosh.
which was great.
Yeah.
We loved
So
it.
again, kind of describing this for the people that are just listening. What's neat about this AI water filter is that it basically takes you as a person and just turns it into a painting, and then takes out the background. And it's I'm not sure if you prompted it what colors to use for the background, but it created a nice, beautiful background with watercolor. And we did these as 4x6 prints, and they came out absolutely stunning. Guests loved them. I'm assuming, Steve, you can prompt it to go even further, or tell us. Do you see anything in these photos that might help people understand what you prompted?
I can't remember the exact prompt of it, but I told them to keep it natural, keep it natural. No adding a special style or weight loss or anything like that. Anything like that. I'm very careful when I do that because so many people are going to say, "Oh, can I make everyone look slim? Can I take a few pounds off everyone?" Which will be fine until you've got somebody that maybe is very thin and maybe has a eating
Yeah.
what would doesn't should be eating more. And if you suddenly shrink them down, it's going to cause all sorts of problems going into the future. You've got to use this AI stuff responsibly.
So do you need to create a special AI filter every time, or can you reuse the same filter, or how does it work for people that aren't
No, you
familiar?
can you can reuse the same filter, maybe make a few changes. Uh, Make a few changes. Obviously, some jobs we're doing. We will make a brand new filter,
Okay.
especially if we've got the time. If someone bounces it on the last day, then it's obviously a problem. But
Yeah. And one more time, what was the software? I don't think I caught it the first time. Where did you get this from?
the prompt I got from Ryan Salinas. I'll look it up. He's well known in the industry, so he's a boother himself.
Okay, but it wasn't like Snappic, or what
The,
software are
the,
you
the
using?
software was running on Booth Events,
But
Booth.events, and we use
okay,
Snappic as well. But you put the prompt into the software.
okay. So is this so it's I'm just trying to help people understand. So is it Snappic that you were using to take our photos, or
Now
what?
we
What
use
soft?
it was actually Booth.events to take the photographs, and
Okay.
you get to keep the raw images as well without any AI done it as well. So there's a regular color photo there, and then you get the AI output as well.
Yeah, that was really neat. Right.
That's a
So
really cool feature as well. Like every single photo at our wedding that was watercolor, we also got the actual photo as well.
We
And that
do
was an unexpected, like
we
nice to have.
we do that with every photo booth we do. We keep all the raws, and we let the guests have high res copies of the original picture. And we started doing that when we offered the Kardashian style, black and white background, which is still our signature look. And it makes up the majority of our weddings and private parties. And we literally keep the big high res, and we'll blow them up, make big posters.
Wow.
A lot of our photo booth pictures do wind up getting blown up and enlarged,
Right.
framed, and hung on the wall.
I was going to ask,
I've got one. I've got one behind. I've got one behind me.
Whoa.
really? Let's see.
Oh
Whoa.
my gosh, that's beautiful. I just got chills actually.
That
That's
is
a
big. Oh my
beautiful
gosh.
photo. This is a photo booth picture?
That's a photo booth
Wow.
picture, and it's the one which got me into the Kardashians, in the
Gorgeous.
Kardashian style.
Yeah.
I see you're really busy with that for weddings. Is
It,
that
it,
still
it,
your most
it,
requested
it's
option?
still our most. It's sorry. It's still our most requested, and we love doing it. But
Yeah.
AI, I think will start trending.
Steve, do you have tips for people that are getting into black and white? Because actually, yesterday, was it yesterday, Sarah? We did an event that had black and white, and there's some limitations with every booth, but we couldn't get our white to look like your white, even if we had the light as bright as we could get it. What tips do you have for people to get that beautiful contrast of really bright white um, to make it pop?
Have the guests close to the backdrop. I know this sounds like you're going to get the shadows. If they come too far towards the camera, you turn the light down to stop them blowing out, and the light falls off behind, and then it goes. And especially at the ends, if you can get them close and get the camera fairly away from them, so I think it's called the inverse square law. If I go back to my um,
Mhm.
university days studying photography, it is called the inverse square law, but it's light in physics. If you can understand photography, it makes it easier. I mean, there's filters out there that can do everything. You can push the contrast up a bit, which helps.
Yeah.
But
And are you using a flash for this, or is
oh,
it a?
absolutely,
It's
yeah,
flash.
yeah,
Yeah.
flash.
Yeah.
Flash with studio lighting with a beauty dish, pointed slightly down, and occasionally I might use a lamp at the bottom, but it looks better. But the trouble is when you've got party guests, unless they've been very careful, that lamp's going to get kicked over.
Yeah. Eh,
It not just that you're worried about the equipment; it is a potential trip hazard. You don't want electrical lamps on the floor unless it's a very quiet. Yeah, but you might be able to do it at a retail promotion during the day, but certainly not late at night when
Well, your
people.
black and white photos come out really, really nice. I mean, we just did one, like I said, a few days before this filmed, that we're filming this, and I just can't get my lights to be bright enough. But it's a limitation to an older photo booth that we're using. Um, it just can't get it bright enough. But it's good to see that the Every booth, which we have one, with that bright light, can really make the black and whites pop. So if our listeners are looking for a good black and white photo booth, obviously you might recommend the Every booth, Steve.
Oh well, I'd recommend them for everything. That's just me. But
Yeah,
it's not just having lots and lots and lots of light. It's having the right light and knowing how to use it. And don't even think about doing it with an iPad camera. You've got to use a DSLR. Do not, you will not, I promise you, you will not be able to do it. not unless you've got some weird filter going on there, which will probably blow everything else out. You've got to be subtle. You've got to be subtle with it as well, with the Kardashian. Don't don't ramp it up too much. I mean, we all use filters, etc., but don't have it too much because otherwise people look like wax models. You see it all the time. You use it sparingly, as sparingly as possible. So it will just smooth just a little bit, but it won't make the whole face look like waxworks or AI mush, as I call it now.
Hmm.
I remember when the glam filter first came out, I think it was, built into some of the iPad
Yeah,
booth softwares. And I
yeah,
remember the first time we tried the glam filter, probably 4 or 5 years ago
yeah.
now, and just looking at my face, I was like, I don't like that. And our couples were asking for glam, and we ended up giving them, just black and white, and they love it. It doesn't have ours doesn't do any AI at all, but the way you describe it, it's clearly like such an art, and like it takes finesse, and I
It's
think we still
photography
have.
more than anything. Putting the
Mhm.
photography back into photo booths. That's what we like to say.
It totally is. And I mean, I think we still need to figure ours out a little bit more this year and hone it in. But I would like to get married again, Christian, and hire Steve's black and white, please.
Yeah.
Can I come over to your place this time?
Yes.
It's a
Yeah.
bit warmer.
It's kind of a funny story when we got back, people asked, why did you get married in London? Because we actually, for those that don't know us, don't live in London, but we traveled to London for our wedding. Um, why did we pick London, Sarah?
I mean, we work in a major wedding destination. We work in Lake Tahoe. And about a third of our business is weddings, and most of those are in Lake Tahoe. So we know destination wedding markets, and we have an off season. We have like very seasonal weddings here. So basically, mid October weddings drop off, and we're able to kind of escape where we live right after, well, the holidays, right? We're very busy with holiday parties. And so after our holiday parties, we actually flew out December 14th, and we decided we wanted to get married in a destination, but we also needed it to be during our off season. And your brother's a teacher, so it needed to be close to a holiday.
Hmm.
Finagling a date is harder than it sounds, and just making sure your guests can attend. So we picked a destination. We had been to London before, and we saw kind of like the Christmas magic that was about to happen. We were there in November 2023. And I remember saying to Christian, oh my gosh, we have got to come back here for Christmas someday. And it was so cool to go back for Christmas, but to bring our friends and our family. And they just had like the best time. It was such a treat. And it was also such a treat getting to hire the lovely like UK vendors. I just had like the best experience, hiring Steve and also hiring a photographer, an officiant, which is called a celebrant, and our venue. So it was a
The
blast for
venue
me
was
getting
beautiful,
to.
wasn't it? Wasn't the venue just beautiful as
Oh my
well?
gosh.
Yeah, proper.
Yeah.
I have no
Um,
words.
The
and I was
Chesterfield, the Chesterfield in Mayfair was a great choice, and we actually picked that without ever stepping foot in it. So it was a pretty big gamble, but you definitely delivered,
oh,
uh,
thanks.
and our
Yeah.
guest had a ton of fun. So
Well,
photo
it's about
booths,
fun.
you
Fun.
you got to have a photo booth
Right.
at a wedding, especially if they're smaller, because it gives people something fun to do. Not everybody wants to dance, but uh,
And one of the
so
coolest things actually about hiring a photo booth that it didn't occur to me is that we got the photos right away, which duh, of course I know that is the case, but I'm actually still waiting on our main photography gallery. And so the photos I've been showing everybody for the last literally 2 months are all our photo booth pictures.
Mm.
And people think they're actually the watercolor photos are hand painted. It is so cool. It just made us look so cool.
We make a point of having all our galleries online within 48 hours,
yeah.
so people can put them out on their socials. I mean, a lot of them are doing it straight from the camera now, straight from the booth, and we're seeing stuff online before I've even packed up to go home.
So,
But we
Steve,
put them
maybe
all on the gallery within 48 hours.
tell us a little bit more about when you got started, because I have a feeling a lot of our listeners will be people that are either thinking about getting started in photo boothing or they're kind of new to it. Did you start off with just one booth? Did you just dive deep and get more than one, or kind of tell us a little bit about how you started?
Just got the one booth, the Every Booth original, which I still love. It still goes out all the time, even though they don't make them anymore. I mean, I love it. I love it. And so do our brides and couples. But I just got the one booth and I thought, let's see how it goes. And it started off very slowly. I didn't have the marketing for it. I took photographs myself for marketing, got friends in to learn how to use it, and it was a slow burn. But when I got it, I sat down and I thought the first 3 or 4 jobs we had in, I'd actually lost money on doing it because I'd spent so much money on Google AdWords to get the clients. I was losing money on every job I did. I mean, fortunately, I still had editorial photography income coming in. But then once I sorted the booth out, got regular clients. A lot of our clients are return repeat business now, which is how we like it. We love word of mouth and repeat business. It's our favorite.
And at that point, you were photographing events, and were you having like a photo booth attendant run your booth, or like how were you managing that?
I was always doing the booth myself. Sometimes for a big job, I'd have somebody in to help, sometimes family. But if we do have a booth now and it's not out with me, all our attendants are professional photographers that understand photography first
Wow.
and customer service. I would be very, very wary about having a youngster going out doing it as what they call a side hustle or something, or just a job to do. They've got to know photography and they've got to know customer service.
What's it like to do events in the UK and in London? I mean, London is when I picture it, I'm picturing having it go into the tube and or traffic. So I mean, is there a lot of logistic problems to do?
Yes, yeah. Traffic's a nightmare. Um, it- there's cameras trying to trap you all the time for infringements. Parking is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Your wedding was on a Sunday, which made parking so much easier
Oh,
for,
good.
for me. But we we do have huge problems sometimes, and I've got some colleagues who they just add the cost of a parking ticket onto their jobs, especially corporates, and park right outside, even if it's illegal, and just pay the parking ticket because it,
Wow.
it's been covered.
We kind of do something similar. So a lot of the venues we work have valet parking, and most of the time, we have we'll just pull up right to the front, right? Get all of our stuff unloaded, talk to the valet, and a lot of times they'll let us park for free
Yeah.
in the valet. Um, so that's kind of a little tip for people. You really just try to be friends with the valet, if there is one. A lot of times they won't charge you because they understand that you're working. And
Be friendly to everybody, absolutely everywhere. Security, the doorman, security especially. He is going to be the guy that can decide, yes, you can park there for 20 minutes while we are unload, while you unload. Hang on a sec, I'll hold the door open for you. I'll help you load in. I'll watch your kit on the sidewalk to make sure no one's stolen it. Security, you've got and doorman, you've got to be so nice to them. Likewise, waiters, the people doing the coffee. You know where I'm coming from on that.
Yeah.
Be as nice as you can. When you're setting up, we always set up earlier. Grab the waiters as they're coming round. Can I just borrow you to do some test pictures, please? You're much
They
better.
love that. They
You're
love
much
it.
more attractive than I am. Click, flash, flash. Oh, that's good. Oh, is that your friend? Yeah, get your manager in. Yeah, I'll do some. Another print. Yeah, that's all right. I'm just testing it and setting it up. They've remembered you. And when those little snacks come out.
Yep.
That's a great tip.
Perhaps I shouldn't be saying that, but
You
it's
gotta stay fed, especially when you're
yeah.
working.
So
Um,
you treat everybody, especially the venue
yeah.
staff,
Yeah.
as if they're clients.
How
And
early
their
do you
team members,
typically?
their team members as well. We're all doing the same job. We're trying
Yeah.
to give the best experience to a bride and groom or a corporate client as we can. And if we get the job done easily and without any friction and everybody's happy, I'm happy.
Oh, beautiful. Well said.
Yeah, that's so sweet. I used to be a banquet captain, actually.
Yeah.
Um,
You'll know exactly where I'm coming from.
exactly. Like you're all working the event, and it just makes people's day a little bit brighter,
Yeah.
to even like be around befriend the photo booth and testing. Like it's so much fun. The catering staffs love to be your test subjects,
The
and
catering staff, especially, the amount of times I go through a kitchen, if you can't come through the main entrance, you go to the kitchen and you'll see a notice board and it's full of photo booth pictures from various things. And you
Yeah.
can see they love it. They'll come out, the chef will come out, stand there, and arms around them, waitresses, and yeah, love it. Oh, another photo for your mum, and likewise the security people. Secure, definitely.
really,
Yeah, they will be the people that can say you can't leave that there. You've got to take it back to your van, or say, oh look, there's a little storage room you can use. I'll unlock it for you.
Yeah. So
So
Steve, a couple of quick fire questions. Um, do you do mostly weddings or corporate events?
I think at the moment, mostly weddings, especially during the summer. But come the winter months, it's just corporate awards and
Yep. What's your
Christmas parties.
busiest time of the year or month?
December for the parties, and then the summer weekends.
Same for us. December is actually our busiest month
Yeah,
with all the holiday parties. It's just one after another, almost every day of the week, and we actually love holiday parties because everyone's usually on their best behavior because it's a corporate, yeah, or they're the worst.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah. A couple more. Yeah, how many people are typically go out on an event with you? Is it by yourself, or do you have somebody helping you?
It's usually by myself.
Wow.
I do have other photographers going out. They will usually go out on their own. We do a couple of jobs a year where we'll have multiple booths on the same job. A couple of us will go out. Sorry. Usually, but I'll be managing it all and overseeing it all.
For us, maybe Sarah, why don't you answer that? What's typical for us? We have a selfie booth.
typical for us on a summer weekend, or
No, well, we usually have one person for a selfie booth, which is just a kind of like a drop off.
yeah, we
Yeah.
use the Moby booth Aura is our selfie booth lineup, and we've got two of those, and those go out a lot. They're very popular, and they are drop off and pick up. So there's typically not an attendant. With our printer style booths, we always send two people, and the reason is most of our booths are double sided, not our icon booth, but our queso booths actually have two sides, and it really speeds up the line when you have somebody in front and somebody in back. Somebody's helping the guests in the front. Customer experience, right? You want to greet them, you want to help them pose, you want to make sure their photos look awesome. You send them to the back, and we help them print and text on the back. It's a flow, but it's also, I think, accountability for our staff, right? If if we send two people, they're gonna, not be as late, or they're not gonna be late. They're gonna be more responsible. Or if the booth freezes for a second, or we need to change the ink and paper, you've got one person to distract the guests and tell them, oh, hang on just a moment. And, the other person can take care of it. So I think, and that's kind of another topic someday we can talk about, is sending two people to an event when really a lot of people want no attendance, right? Like that's kind of the way I think the industry is going towards, like, hey, we don't need an attendant. But as of now, we like to send two, and especially working in an area where it's very mountainous, or there could be car problems, or there could be weather. It's good, like, for our team to be together, and actually our team are really good friends with each other. A lot of our staff have become really good friends.
We do sometimes let the booth be there with brand ambassadors, particularly on corporates. So they want their own people front of house, but I will always be in the background, just keeping an eye on it, and be there to oversee any problems and change ink and paper media, which happens. And we all know computers sometimes have a hissy fit and decide they're going to stop, and you need to be there. It's no good. If you're on a corporate, it's no good being an hour away and waiting for them to call you and say, oh, I'll be over as soon as I can. You've got to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you see any trends emerging for 2026 here?
Yes. Apart from AI,
Yeah.
enclosed photo booths, they are making a comeback big time, big time. And the older, more retro, the better.
Yep.
And I think people are charging premium prices for them.
I think that's actually our next purchase as well. Sarah and I have been talking about getting an enclosed photo booth, and kind of like you're saying, the older the better, because we've been starting to get a lot of requests for those from some high-end clients that want to spend that extra money. But what's interesting to me about it, and the thing that I don't understand, is like you can only fit one or two people in there. It's not really good for groups.
That's what, in fact, it worries me that if I went out and bought a new every booth cabina,
They're like
they're very
25,000
expensive.
pounds.
That's pounds, not dollars.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's about, certainly by the time you've got it and paid all the taxes. And I would be very worried about people deciding they're going to sit and get 8 people sitting in it.
Yeah. We've thought about designing our own with just some pipe and drape, and a bench. Some people are into it, but I think we're certainly seeing that the enclosed booths are coming back, and
Yes.
we might have to invest in one. And same thing with watercolor. I mean, we have to thank you for that. We are offering that now, and have been messing around with a custom prompt, to try to create that watercolor for mostly for our wedding people right now. But we're excited to see what other opportunities there are for corporate activations. I'm sure they're going to want to do something really fun with AI. And I think that's going to be the race right now for people, is whoever comes up with a really cool corporate activation with AI, is going to probably find a lot of success this year selling that. So
And actually, PBX Las Vegas just wrapped up a few days ago, and I'm sure a lot of people are in the same boat as us right now, thinking, okay, well, enclosed booths are going to be huge for 2026.
Yes.
Do I really drop 20 grand on one and hope that I get enough bookings for that? I think, we've probably gotten 5 or 6 inquiries very recently for enclosed booths, but it's like, is that enough? And you also want to be thinking about your competitors in your nearby area of, does anybody have that? And would we be kind of the first? Or, maybe some people have the enclosed booths from like 20 years ago or 15 years ago, and now every booth has the beautiful cabina, like a
Yes.
modern enclosed booth. So I don't think I have answers, but it is like kind of a interesting situation that every photo boother feels year after year.
Are you going to
I
get one,
think
Steve?
they definitely are. They definitely are coming back.
Awesome. Well, we kind of want to end the show just by giving some tips to some of our folks who are thinking about getting into photo boothing. We've kind of dropped a few nuggets of wisdom. Spend a lot of time practicing before your first event. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've seen on Facebook groups people saying, "I have an event tomorrow. Like, what should I do?" And you're just like,
Yeah.
practice. I mean, you said it yourself. You spent a lot of time tweaking the AI filter before you actually used it, right?
It's set up at home, and literally when we have people coming by, I say, "Oh, can I borrow you for a second? Just stand there for a second," and then I'll hand them a print, and they love it. And sometimes it doesn't work out as it should do, and put that one in the bin.
Yeah.
But
So if you've never done an
practice and
event and
practice and practice.
you're getting started, like Steve said, you got to practice.
You got to put that photo booth in your living room, set it up, take a bunch of photos in your pajamas. That's literally it. Like you've got to test it out.
Yeah, I think we can
Another
pull it up.
another thing,
We'll,
and don't laugh. When I got my Every booth, the first one, and the original, and they are heavy, etc. I used to put it in the car, in the drive, and then have lunch or have an evening meal, and then get it out of the car, carry it into the house, and set it up and work it.
just
And
practice.
leave it on for a couple of hours. Even while I'm watching a TV show, and every time now and again walk backwards and forwards and just fire it off and checking it works. So yeah, it would just be horrific to think that you've bought a booth and it's going out on an actual job tomorrow or even next week without you thoroughly knowing it. And if you're having, if you're not already a boother, when you do get a job, take it out to a family party or something. Get all your family round at a barbecue, anything, and just work it, work it, work it. And if you have a problem, a printer jam or something, that's great because you'll learn how to sort it out before you get in front of paying guests, and then you'll be panicking, and it will show,
Oof, it's the
It's good
worst.
and you'll make
advice.
a mistake.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Steve, so much for joining us on our podcast. I think the viewers got a lot of pretty good tips. And don't sleep on that AI water filter for everyone that's listening. I think we're going to see that quite a bit in 2026.
Steve, where can people find you? What's your website and your Instagram?
www.smartpicsuk.com, and I think my Instagram is smartpicsuk.
Yeah,
Steve,
you've got a
correct?
cool Instagram, and it's a really good way to browse all your beautiful work and your beautiful black and white as well.
We love it. We love Instagram.
Yeah. Well, give him a follow. And thank you again, Steve, for joining us. And you did such a wonderful job on our wedding. So that made this episode even more special. We hope that lots of people will book you too for some incredible wedding photos like we got.
Thank you very much indeed.
All right, Steve. Well, have a good rest of your day in the UK, and we appreciate you being on.
Thank you very much. It's about it's 9 o'clock at night now.
9 p.m. there.
I
Wow.
hope you
Yeah,
feel better. I'm sorry you're not
that's
feeling
all right.
well.
I'm sorry. I hope it came through all right. And
Yeah,
obviously I'm going to start coughing
No,
and
you did
choking.
great.
you did great. I just feel bad. Yeah.
Thank you, Steve. Good to see you, and
No,
let's catch
thank
up
you
again
very
soon.
much. Okay. And if you need anything sent over, some pictures or anything, just let me know.